underscore SAP UI5. And you can see this got downloaded. Okay, so let me click on this. And you can see another download, and this download is babji underscore UI5. Sorry, ABAP is latest one, UI5 is previous one. So let's go to the downloads and you can see both of them. Got it? So that is how you need to work on the display and download of resumes. Okay. So with this, we have successfully completed the single file uploader, multi-file uploader, all the CRUD operations, all the filtering, searching, grouping concepts, all the formatting concepts, and create deep entity. So these are the complete real-time requirements, guys. Same requirements you will find in the real time as well. From tomorrow's class, the next coming classes will have this topics, and that is, these are little special topics, special requirements. So one is batch operations. So what is batch operations? Anyway, I will explain on that day, but I will just give you introduction in today's class. Some clients will say, I want to create all the employees at a time. So here you are able to create an employee and you are able to add the projects, that is fine. But employee should be created already, and then I will add the projects, I will add the profile picture, I will add the resume. So these are secondary. So employees, all the employees should get created at one shot. Okay, means multiple creation. So whatever we have done, that is single employee creation. So multiple employee creation, only employee. So similarly, updating employees, multiple employee details, updating. So similarly, you want to delete multiple employees at a time. Okay, I want to delete. So you are deleting the employee already here. So you are selecting and clicking the delete employee. So this will delete the employee. But let's say I want to delete multiple employees at a time. So this entire thing comes under batch operations. So here we are going to take exact same to same requirement from the real time. So I got a requirement, and that is end user will upload, he will keep all the employees in Excel and he will upload the Excel. So let's say the Excel contains 1000 records, means 1000 employees. When you upload the Excel, the uploaded Excel data should come to the SAP UI5 application, and it should appear in a table. Okay. So this is what is bulk, create bulk employees. So we will upload the Excel like this. Yeah, I think this is the Excel. Yeah. So once you upload the Excel data will come and sit in this table. So if you want to do any modifications, you will do, and then submit this entire Excel data. So here the Excel data is already read into SAP UI5, and this data will be sent to the backend. And here we use the batch operations concept. So what is batch operation and all, you will understand in that class. So similarly, you can update this data as well in the same way. So for example, name is Sushma. I want to remove this name, or I want to add his first name, last name, something. So I can do the updation also here. So similarly, you can give multi checkbox here, and you can click on the delete button. So you can delete the employees also. So once you understand one operation, that is multiple creation, if you understand, multiple update is 100% same, and multiple delete also 100% same. So that these are the future topics I'm just discussing, and then we are going to create a chart here. So charts using SAP UI5 will create a chart against employee, his salary, as well as employee with his rating. So like this we can create charts as well, and we can also switch from one chart type to the other chart type. I have shown you already in the demo class. So like this, so somebody has changed all the salaries, so they kept 1,000 salary, so that's the reason this graph is like this. Normally the previous batch student, they will be experimenting with this table data, so that's the reason this will when I have shown you the demo, at the time these values are different and now the values are different. So this happens because of these people. Okay, so every batch data will be, application will be lived into this launchpad. Okay, so even your application, whatever we have developed, so this is employee management application till now. All the concepts keeping together, we developed this application. We are going to deploy this application today, and keeping this application in the launchpad, so will be done in tomorrow's class. Okay. Yeah. So with this, with these two topics, your SAP UI5 training so will be completed. So this is the complete SAP UI5 training, and few maybe there are few other topics, small miscellaneous topics, those also we will cover. Okay, right. So don't think that 2 topics means 2 days. Okay, don't come to that conclusion. So we still have need to deploy this application, and then we need to create a file in the launchpad, and there are also topics like from the launchpad we will navigate from one application to the other application as well. So that's a very interesting topic, so which is called as cross application navigation. Means you can, so from the chart, so when you click on a particular record like this, see, you navigated to the employee management application. So did you understand? So this is called cross application navigation. Let me show you again. See, I am in the charts topic, sorry, charts here. I understand like there is a employee called Praveen, so who is earning highest salary. So immediately I want to see Praveen's details. So what is his basic data, what are the projects he has done, what is his resume. So all these things I want to know. So the moment I click here, so which application opened? It opened employee management application second view, so that I can see Praveen's basic data, I can see his project data, I can see his resume data. Okay, so that is called cross application navigation. So that also I will explain, because in real time that topic is mandatory, means you will get those kind of scenarios also in the real time. Okay, all right. So anyway, that just to give you an idea of the down the line plan. And those people who want to try for job change, now you are already at a good stage. You can start preparing your resume, upload the resume in your Naukri, or give your resume to your friends. They can upload in their company's portal. Because till here, this is the mandatory compulsory training. What are the extra topics that you are going to get down the line? So there are little special requirements. Even if you do not answer those, also not a problem, but anyway it will be covered. Okay, so I'm just telling you, like those people who are waiting for switching job, or those people who do not have job, so you can start your search from now onwards. Okay, because by the time the interview is scheduled and all, so this training is completed. All right. So till now, our source code is present in Business Application Studio. So when the source code is present in Business Application Studio, how the end user will use your application? No, he can't use our application. So any web application need to be deployed into the web server. Okay. So this application also need to be deployed into the web server. So what is the web server for SAP UI5 applications? It is nothing but your SAP gateway system. the SAP gateway system will act like server. SAP gateway system acts like a server for SAP UI5 applications, and we are going to deploy the source code into this system. How to do this? Let's see. To deploy the application into the server, once again, let me go to the index.html. Okay. So just I'm giving this particular URL, replacing this particular URL with a SAP UI5 cloud URL. Okay. The reason why I'm replacing is, so if you remember, whenever you create a project in this business application studio, it always creates with the latest version of SAP UI5. Okay. And there is no guarantee that that latest version will be available in your server. Okay. Normally our servers will maintain n-1 or n-2. So what is n-1, n-2? So let's say the latest version is some 1.21. Okay. But in our server, the latest version will not be available. So it will be less than 1 or 2 than the latest version. So if I deploy this particular source code into the server, and if I try testing it from the server URL, it won't work. The reason is there is a mismatch in the server version. To avoid that error, I am replacing this SAP UI5 runtime library with the cloud version. So this is the cloud version. We call that as CDN URL. CDN means Content Delivery Network URL. So same resources / SAP UI core.js, same file. Okay. But if you keep the same file without this SAP UI5 HANA-on-demand.com, then this particular file will be loaded from your server. Which server? SAP Gateway System. So from this particular server, this SAP UI core.js will be taken. So this particular file is nothing but SAP UI5 runtime. But in your server, that particular runtime, whatever you are loading, so that may not be latest. And moreover, we loaded the SAP UI, SAP Horizon dark theme. So this dark theme works only in the latest version of SAP UI5. Right? So this won't work in the lower versions. So that is also one reason why I'm replacing with the complete cloud URL. So if this URL is here, this theme will work. Otherwise, it won't work. So either what we need to do is we can keep the same URL, that is we can do Ctrl+Z. Okay, so whatever the SAP UI5 version that is present in our SAP Gateway system, let it take, no problem. But we need to downgrade our theme. So that this particular theme is Horizon_dark is not available in the server. So we need to downgrade this particular theme with lower versions. Then we don't have any problem. Okay, right. I will show you both. Don't worry. So first let us do the as it is, with SAP Horizon Dark. So SAP Horizon Dark will come only with the latest version. I'm using the cloud URL. Okay, so now let us see the deployment part. You need to right click on the project and click on Open Application Information. So first of all, in the status, so if it is showing any information, so just follow this particular information. It is saying something and it will give the quick fix also over there. Just click this one. That's all. It will do its job. You don't need to do anything. This particular status must be in green color before the deployment happens. Okay. Now close it and right click Open Application Information again. Now you can see the status is coming in green color. So that means we are good to deploy this application. To deploy the application, there are two steps. Step number one is adding deployment configuration, this one. Step number two is deploy option. So before the deployment, we need to add that deployment configuration. Once you do this particular step, you can do this step. Let's do the step number one, adding deployment configuration. Click on that. So it will ask you the deployment details, like where you want to deploy. ABAP means you want to deploy to the SAP gateway system. That is the meaning of ABAP. But if you want to deploy, some clients deploy the applications to the cloud itself. So if that is the case, you need to select Cloud Foundry. Okay, right. So we are deploying our application to the ABAP environment, nothing but SAP gateway system. Destination. So we are going to deploy our application to the index ID server. So just keep it, no problem. Next, SAP UI5 ABAP repository. What is this? This is the name of the application with which you want to deploy. What you need to do is just take this name and add Z at the starting. So Z B72 UI5 app. Any application that you are going to deploy into the server that becomes a ABAP object for our server. So any custom ABAP object must start with the letter Z. So just add the letter Z before your project name. Okay. So normally what we do is, whenever we are creating project in Business Application Studio, here also, when we are giving the name of the project, we give with the letter Z itself, so that there won't be any naming problem with the project name in the Business Application Studio and the project name with which you are deploying into your SAP gateway system. So that is always a good thing if you give the same name here as well. Okay, right. But in Business Application Studio, giving the Z is not mandatory. But during the deployment, giving the Z is mandatory. Right? Okay. So deployment description, I'm giving the description like B72 SAP UI5 application. Or we can give employee management application. So just wait. Yeah. Next, how do you want to enter the package? So any application that you are deploying must be deployed into some package. So what is package? Package is kind of a folder you can issue. So we need to enter the package name here. So why we need to give this particular package? This is for non-ABAPers. I'm not talking about the ABAPers. ABAPers already know. So there is something called transport system. So when you deploy the application here, you are going to deploy in the development system. So you know that in real time we'll be having development system, quality system, and production system. So from the development, the code has to go to the quality and then it has to move to the production system. So how this movement will happen? So this movement will happen through transport mechanism. So if you want to transport any object from one system to the other system, so they must be captured in something called transport request. Transport request. So if you want your SAP UI5 application also to be captured in a transport request, so you need to assign your project to some package and then give that transport request number. Okay. So this package, even you can ask ABAPers, they will give you. This is for non-ABAPers. Okay, so you can ask the ABAP team to create a package for you. They will create and give you. And transport request number. So this also you can ask them, no problem. Or you can also create it on your own. So normally we, for SAP UI5 project, whatever the transport request ABAP has created, so same transport request we use, same package also we use. Okay, so you no need to worry on that. So as of now, I'm just keeping the package as $TMP and transport request not needed when the package is $TMP. Okay, it's a temp package. So for temp package transport request, you no need to give. So click on finish. So we have successfully added deployment configuration. So where this deployment configuration information will go and sit. If you come down, there is a file called UI5 deploy.aml. So in this file, whatever the deployment information that you have given, so this will be added. The target is index ID server, URL is this one, name of the application is this one, description is this one, package is this one, transport is this one. Okay, right. So step number 1 is over. Now step number 2, deploy this application to the server. Now click on this. Now it will trigger the deployment. Open this terminal. So this will ask you, do you want me to start the deployment? Click yes. Yes means Y. You just need to type Y. That's all. So it is saying deployment failed. Actually, from the trial account, we are getting this deployment failures. Actually, the trial account, they don't support sometimes. And that is what exactly happened here as well. So we'll just try. So even several others also reported the same issue that we are.
Do you need to do that uppercase Y?
Huh?
There it is asking uppercase Y. You give Y yes, right?
Uppercase Y. Where?
Start deployment, yes or no. Yeah, there is uppercase Y and lowercase n.
You can give uppercase Y or small case Y, does not matter.
Okay.
See, it is saying starting to deploy, right? No, it's not about capital Y or small y. It's some other issue. Even you give capital Y also, you will get the same issue. Saying something else.
Some status code of 403 it says.
Yeah, that I can see, but why this is giving is something which I did not understand. So just a second, let me try with a transport request number. We'll just keep it. For $TMD not required. And I don't think that will solve the problem also. No. So we'll troubleshoot, guys. I will do it offline. Whether this is because of this index ID server or I have another server also. So we'll check with that server if the deployment. So the deployment actually might be problem with the Business Application Studio trial account or might be sometimes with the server as well. So let me just change to server and we'll see. So if that server is accepting or not. Okay. So I will just experiment on that. Okay, so fine guys, that's all for today. Again, this deployment I will cover in the next class. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, otherwise you can drop off for today. We'll see that in tomorrow's class.
I have one question here. That image you are referring one URL, right? Some SAP OPU data. And yes. The other side, our data is there in the table. Yeah. So when the data is already there in the table, what does that indicate? That URL, the URL which says SAP OPU. Does that image store in the table or in that URL which you are giving?
See, basically it's a URL to trigger your backend methods. Okay. This image is not stored, the image is always stored in the table only. See what OData service is doing, it is just a interface for landing you into the DPC extension class methods. That is what exactly OData service is doing, right? It is not storing anything. From SAP UI5, since you cannot call the ABAP methods directly, which are present in DPC extension class, so you are depending on the OData. So UI5 will call the OData. OData will go and call your DPC extension class methods and supply whatever the primary key, whatever are there. So it will supply to the method as an input parameter. We have seen the method signature and all, right? And whatever the logic that you have written, so that logic get executed. That's all. So this is calling getStream function. And getStream function is already implemented with the logic.
So that getStream internally goes to that particular table column and
yeah, it returns. Exactly.
Other question which I had related to that yesterday's question which I asked. See, when you say that two projects, right? Internally, as you said, it is moving to that child table, which is the projects table, and you are extracting the multiple child records. But if suppose you are just giving only employee number in a single field, the data has to be extracted, that header record also to be pulled in that same request, and also the items also to come in one single lot to the front end. So how do we go for this?
I'm saying you can write question mark dollar expand equal to two projects. So if you call, you can call this URL, okay, using once you enter your employee set of 100002, for example, there is a form. So you enter 100002 and you click on enter key. Okay. You do the bind element to, let's say there is a form. You do the bind element to the entire view. That's all.
Yeah. So internally, when you see our code has been written for employee into one separate select statement, and then the child records are there with a separate select statement. So whether both the select statements will be executed in this case?
Yeah, both will execute it. So that
yes,
method will
both
also
the
get executed. Yeah, both the methods get executed and it will combine the data and it is sending. That is what OData framework is doing. So here we have not written any code, right, for combining employee data and project data, but you are getting it here.
Yeah.
So how are you getting it here? Because the OData framework by default it is calling employee set underscore get entity. It is getting that data, and it is also calling project set underscore get entity set. So it is combining both the result and it is sending as a response to us. So this is employee data, this is project data. And for your question, so let's say there is an employee ID, and let's say you have a form to display the employee details. This is employee details, and let's say there is a table here to display the project data. Okay, project data. So let's say this is employee ID, input field, and let's say this is go button or OK button or something. Okay, fetch. So the moment you click this button, what you will do? You will write only one statement, that is this.getView.bind element. Bind element with this employee ID. Employee set of 100001. Okay, and this form is direct binding, and this table is binded to /2 projects. Slash is also not required, sorry, just 2 projects. That's all.
And the other question is that under which scenarios we go for that expanded entity set?
This is a scenario.
Internally that's that be called.
Yeah, this is a scenario which will bring both data into the front end.
Because in our batch, I think we did not write any code in that method, right? So that's
that's the beauty actually of SAP UI5. So which will do these kind of jobs automatically. If you are doing with the direct binding, the coding will be less. So since we are paying all this with the OData binding, so the coding is very less. But if you are doing with the JSON model, you can also bring this data into the JSON. So in that case, if you remember, we have written OData model.read statement. So let me show you that as well. So here we have written OData model.read, correct? So we read the backend data and kept it into the JSON model. So in this way also you can do. So what you need to do, you need to write employee set of 100001, whatever the variable, and then question mark $expand equal to 2 projects. Now this will hit directly this URL. This URL, and you will get this employee data as well as the project data both into the success function. You store this data in a JSON model, and from this JSON model you can bind it to your view. So that is one more way. But in this way you need to write a lot of code. So you need to write model.read, save that data into a JSON model, and your view also need to be binded. So this is another way. So that's why we have shown you both the approaches. Either you can use model.read, store the data in a JSON model, and bind your view from the JSON model, right? So we binded our table initially, if you remember, our table is binded with both JSON binding as well as OData binding. So the reason why I have shown you both is you can apply the same for in any scenario. So this table bind it to the employee set, but instead I can also bind it to the JSON model, right? So that is another way. So you can do any approach, but SAP recommends to go with this OData model binding approach. So you'll find a lot of the number of lines of code difference. Okay, fine guys, then we'll meet in tomorrow's class. I'll just check the deployment.
So one small doubt.
Yeah, Babji.
We have done greater than, less than, all those things, right? I want maximum, minimum, sum, value.
The maximum, minimum is not operators actually. See, the operators that we have is equals to, not equal to, greater than, or equal to, less than or equal to, and then between. So between is the only operator that we left out. Actually, you can experiment also on that. So between needs one more input field here. Okay, so you can keep two input fields. So just like we created this input field, you can create extra input field also. For between, you can enter the value over there. Maximum, minimum, they are not at all operators. You don't have such operators at all. But that's if you want that custom logic, you can write it, but they are not called as operators at all. Okay.
What are these Fiori elements? In the last time, I think you were discussing on this Fiori elements.
Yeah, that will. I think I have already given the introduction about SAP Fiori elements in our demo session. When we start it, at that time we'll again discuss. Okay, so I don't think at this moment it is required.
I'm only sure, sir. Fiori
elements.
Yeah.
After this particular course, we'll start the Fiori elements, but the Fiori elements will not be a regular class, regular batch. Means every day it won't be there, because after this batch, one more SAP UI5 batch will start, because already many people are enrolled for this SAP UI5 and people are waiting, even from the index ID, even for me directly. So our SAP UI5 is something like a regular batch, means Monday to Friday batch. This Fiori elements will be a weekend batch.
Okay.
Okay.
Till how many days it will take?
That won't take much time actually. So just around 20 classes, not more than that. 20, 22 like that. So it varies 20 to 23 max.
Still how many days overall for UI5 and the Fiori?
UI5 you can expect another maybe 2 weeks. Okay, this training may continue for another 2 weeks, and yeah, we'll see. And after that, Fiori elements will start. Okay, so maximum I can see is 2 weeks. Okay, so it won't cross more than 2 weeks.
Okay.
In the real time, did you have any of the projects which you have seen? Like, was there any project with like Node.js and so on, MongoDB, and we need to really learn that?
So those and all comes under cloud, Ravi.
Cloud
Node.js and all these comes under CAPM actually, Cloud Application Programming Model. And in the cloud only you will write your logic in Node.js and all. Maybe we'll discuss these things maybe in another class. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting late for the office.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you guys. We'll meet in tomorrow's class.